Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau Dashboard tutorial. And in this dashboard tutorial, I am showing you this beautiful one-pager dashboard, or you can say infographic, which has been created by Chimdi. So he has been creating a lot of dashboards in his profile, and his profile link is present in the description. Also this Tableau Dashboard link. But I found really amazing examples here in his profile, as you can see, Chimdi, and this seems like one of the very first, or maybe one of the very first professionally looking dashboard that you have from him. So the good part about this dashboard is what I really like is, first of all, it is really informative from the perspective of earthquakes, which is a problem, one or the other person has faced it whenever earthquake is happening. Second is the visualization, the colors that has been chosen is quite good. It's about telling you what has happened over a period of century, as it can say. Is it saying from the title, earthquakes of century, and some the informative text. Down below, it's about the distribution over 100 years, clearly depicting that 6.2 magnitude of earthquake is coming, and this is, here you have some ranges based on which we can say something, whether it is a great with a great magnitude earthquake has coming, or minor, or even micro, which is less than 2. So this is a kind of categorization that has been given, based on which this has been plotted. Down below, the information about across the globe where the earthquake has come, and there some filters has been provided, interesting filters like earthquake, you want to view it by earthquake magnitude, damage incurred, number of deaths, number of houses destroyed, so on and so forth. So quite an interesting way of creating a dashboard on such an important social issue like an earthquake, which impacts lives of the people a lot. Whenever earthquake is coming, I remember a very bad earthquake came in Nepal, I think few years back. Thousands and thousands people's houses got destroyed. Even in India, back in, I think the worst one was 2002, if I'm not wrong, the earthquake in Gujarat, which impacted a lot the people of Kutch and the rest of the people in Gujarat, and a lot of work being done. So this visualization is sort of a social cause visualization within one page, with a good combination of colors that is being used. And this is something I want to recreate to teach you basically how you can create a visualization like this, so that you can develop your understanding about Tableau and how Tableau can be used for creating an infographic like this, that you can create either in your office work or for the social cause. So that's one thing. And what you can do, if you want to download this piece, there is a link over here, the download. Once you click it over here, the Tableau workbook option you will going to get, and that's what I did, and I opened it in my Tableau over here. As you can see, this is now my Tableau workbook environment in which this dashboard is coming, so that I can see the various different components which is being created here, and we can recreate it, right? So some of the components are straightforward in terms of creation, like this is a text box, or this is a text box, or if I go down, even this is a text box. You can see even this is a text box over here that is there. But some of the components, interesting components, is this visualization, which is sort of, I believe, what we call dot plot, if I'm not wrong. It's like a different dots over the different magnitude that you are having. Second is this distribution, which is not very difficult, which is quite straightforward. Even this visualization, map visualization, is quite straightforward. The only piece is how we can create an impact like this, right? So this is something, a kind of a symbol that is being used when earthquake is coming, right? So that's something I want to show you how at least I did when I recreated this. And now in this tutorial I'll show you how you can even create it when you are trying on your own. Okay, so with that, the very first visualization is this one. As you can see, this is about significant earthquake over 100 years. So first thing first is you have years over here and you have magnitude over here. And this is basically the different observations. Like for example, you have these dots, which is being either it is a small dot like this one, or it is quite big like this one. So size is something that is being used, and if I go here onto the sheet, you can see it over here that what you have is these different measures and dimensions, and column is quite straightforward here. Magnitude is there, and then these different ones like color richer and all. So what we will do is let's try to recreate it because the formatting is going on. So what I can do is I can go to the file and new, and in that it will going to create the new Tableau workbook. But before it creates or opens up this new Tableau workbook, which it is opening right now. All right, no issues. So what I want to show you is the Excel file that is here. So in this Excel file, this is the Excel file. You will find it on my Google Drive. And what Chimdi has used is a direct link to Google BigQuery, right? So when I looked at it, the connection and all, it is a Google BigQuery. But for the sake of simplicity for beginners, what I did is, I just created the spreadsheet out of the database that is being used there and cleaned it up a little bit so that it does not have those calculated column, so that we can create it once we are practicing it, right? Because that's the whole purpose. So you can see it has quite a self-explanatory name like country, in which country it has happened, day, flag, tsunami, whether tsunami occurred or not, ID, I don't know what's going on there, but location, where it has happened, month, region, regions, code, and I think name of the region, state, year, damage in millions, damage description, deaths, so on and so forth. And another important field is, I think, the hour when it happened out of the 24 hours. I think you even have minute over here. You have magnitude, which is important. You have latitude and longitude that will help us in map. And I think, yeah, other than that, you have second, right? So hour, minute, and second will going to form, let's say, the entire time, right? And that basically says like how many total deaths has happened, so on and so forth, right? So quite straightforward data set, not that much difficult to read or interpret, but I wanted to just showcase some of the important columns. And where you will find it, well, you will find it, I will just go to the drive, and within that I will go to, where is that, data set. Okay, so in this data set, this is the important part because many people request me, and I thought it should be readily available. So this is the data set that you need to use for this exercise. This is EQ100 full data.csv, right? So this should help you in getting this data set that I am using for recreation, and you also need to use for recreation, right? So that's there, and after that we will come over here, right? And we will going to connect to data. So I can connect directly to Google Drive. Let's connect directly to the Google Drive. It will ask for the sign in. I will go in the sign in. I will allow this. It is now safe to close it. the contents will come over here from the Google Drive, right? And I think this is where I need to go to the datasets folder, or it will directly show me. Let's just see this datasets. Yep, and there you go, right? I double clicked over there, and here is the dataset, right? So you can also do the same, but the only thing challenge will be, since it is my Google Drive, it is allowing me to view it. I am not sure if it will allow you to view my Google Drive like this. So you need to probably upload in your Google Drive or maybe in your desktop. So over here we have this visualization, right? So what do we have is basically we need to choose the year, right? And this needs to be discrete. So we have this, and once we have this, we need to have the magnitude, right, on the y-axis. So I will just use it. Other than sum, I can use anything. I think sum is also okay, because as soon as I change this to a shape, and I think with all the different attributes that I will going to add, then it will change it. But for now, I'm changing it to the maximum, right? So this is the impact we wanted to view. Like this is the maximum earthquakes that has happened from a magnitude perspective, but we need to break it up, right? So what sum was doing, it was summing it up all the observation. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to view like individual observations, right? So that's one. After that, there are different types of different types of fields that we need to add to make sure that this does not show just one single point, as you can see, for entire year, but it break it out from various different perspectives, like whether tsunami occurred or did not occur, or things like those. Okay, so I think the very first thing is what we can do is we can add the location name. As you can see, as soon as I add the location name, it is basically changing it to something similar to what we had. I'm just unchecking the names, which is unnecessarily cluttering it up. And from the shape over here, let's just change this to this one, right? And we have this location name. We need the magnitude again on the size. So and I will just make sure that it is max, and I think the size is fine for now. That's perfectly fine, no issues. So we have this, and magnitude and location name. One of the things, if I go to the another visualization over here, we have the location name, we have magnitude that we have created. The maximum magnitude is also need to be on the label. So again, we can, I think we can hold down the control key and put it on or drag it over the label. Yeah, you can see now the labeling is coming. So that's a shortcut. And once we have this, interesting thing is what's going on. It is showing you when it happened, right? So time of occurrence and day of occurrence. So it is showing you for year, which is 2013, what is the location, magnitude, right? So we have that. Day of occurrence, that means on what particular day. So if you remember, what we have is basically year, month and day. We need to combine it, right? Similarly for the time of occurrence, right? So if I go here, below the day of occurrence, you have time of occurrence in hour, minute and second. That is also, you need to combine it. So for that, you have you have something called like what is the hour, minute and second. So for that, I will going to create a calculated field. Let's just call it the same, day of occurrence. And that is basically where, additional fields, what we create if you are completely beginner. This is where we create more and more fields to provide better insight from the existing data. So I will going to use the make date. However, if I go here, they have over here in the day of occurrence, Chimdi has used the str day to convert the day into a string, right? So that's one way you can do that, but I am choosing alternate way, which I find it like more beneficial from date perspective, not dating perspective. From a date perspective, that is in the make date, right? You specify the year, you specify the month and day. To me, it is much more cleaner. That's why I'm using it. And I click OK, right? And I bring over here day of occurrence. It is coming as year, but we need to choose it exact date, right? So we have day of occurrence, and I think it needs to be discrete. Okay, show mark label, unchecking that. So now you can see we have day of occurrence that is coming as 11/24. That means MMDDYY, right? So that is something what we have created. However, if you see, you have for the day of occurrence, which is the fourth field below magnitude, he is indicating that what the format is DDMMYYYY, because if you have a global audience, they will not have, sometimes they use DDMMYYYY or they use MMDDYYYY. So it can be anything. So it's always a good idea, like it has been done over here, that you have the formatting there. So what you can do is you can go into the label, click over here, right? So you have day of occurrence, you have max magnitude and all, and the weight is coming over here is something like this, day of occurrence, right? So the way we can add this is coming over here, and we can say MMDDYY. I think it will going to change this. No, it is not changing this. Okay. All right. Maybe it is because we are saying that it should add it. It is adding it, but it is adding it to the label. I think that's not what we want. So in this case, we need to, if it is not coming like this, which I was hoping it should, then we need to make some changes into the first of all, I'll go back to original part so that at least that is intact, and then we need to, I think, make a change into the field to make sure that it is coming. Or I think what I'm forgetting is this is not actually the label, this is your tooltip. Yeah, I think let's figure it out. Okay, we have it over here. I think this is where we need to change. MMDDYYY. This is what happens when you have multiple things, like you have label and tooltip. I forgot about the label altogether. You can go into the preview and you can see this is what it is coming, right? And you can click OK. Formatting, like changing the color and all, we can do it the way we want. Okay, so it should come properly now, MMDDYYYY, right? So that is something I'm keeping it. You want to change it to DDMMYYYY, you can do this. In case you need to change the format altogether, this is just adding the tooltip, but if you want to change the format altogether, you need to go into the format, right? And I think you don't, so currently it is custom. If you click on custom, exact date, okay. So you need to go into the format, and from the format under the pane, you change this to, from automatic, you need to go into the custom and specify the format you want, and accordingly this will going to change. Okay, so this is day of occurrence, and then we have time of occurrence. So I will create one more field, time of occurrence, and this is something make time. We will say hour, minute and second, right? So this is what it is. It is showing me make time is this integer and float. Second is probably in float. So I'll click OK, but I will come over here and I changed this data type to whole, and now that is done. So now we have time of occurrence that I can pull it in over here, and we will say discrete, not the year, but hour, minute and second. I will just say exact date, but the problem with this is day of occurrence. I will just uncheck this and go to the tooltip. Looks like it is not added to the tooltip. Let me just add it below to the day of occurrence over here. Time of occurrence, call it time of, or let me just choose this. And I'll say time, and let's just say HHMMSS, right? Preview. Time of occurrence, right now it is coming null, but we can change it based on the issues that it is having. So time of occurrence, day of occurrence is okay. Click OK. All right. So we have time of occurrence. I'll just create one more sheet and I'll try to put it here on the rows, and I will say discrete and exact date. So we have the time which is coming, but with the exact date. This is how, I usually test. And if I just say hour, it will only show hour. If it is, minute, second, but we need all the three, right? So we have this. It does not give me any way of basically showing the hour, minute and second. So again, I will put it exact date, right? Discrete, and over here what we can do is we can format it, right? So we go into the format, into the pane, and we go into the custom, and we will say HH:MM:SS, right? So if I try to do that, my expectation is that it should change it. Let me just change this as well. Okay, it has changed like I was expecting. So I think it was either doing some processing in the backend or something, but yeah, this is something it has changed. And what we can do is we can, so for some cases it is coming, as you can see, time of occurrence, this. So let's come over here, go to the format. So we have pane here, come HHMMSS, right? So as long as we have it, yep, there you go, right? So I wanted to show you because these are very important, but little bit tricky in terms of how to get it. So I hope you got the idea, like how do we need to do this piece. Okay, the last piece, I think one more piece, two pieces, color and tsunami. Color I'm keeping it for the last because you know that here we need to create a one calculation to basically come up with these colors, right? So what do you need to do is basically just add a flag tsunami to it to indicate whether tsunami happened or not. So there you go. I will add it on the label, right? Uncheck this. All right. So color richer. Color richer is basically to categorize each of these individual, where you have the minor earthquakes and where you have medium and where you have the major, right? So this is what it is: great earthquake, major earthquake, strong, moderate, light, minor, micro. So in that case, a field has been created which basically categorizes this. So just to give you an idea what it is, it's very straightforward from someone who has already done the work. But if you are a complete beginner, let me explain it to you. So color richer is over here, right? We go into the edit. So what do we have is, I think this is not the one. This is basically the one. Edit. So what it has is similar formula, as you can see, max magnitude. It's a simple if condition, right? If maximum magnitude is greater than 0 but less than 2.9, then call it micro. But then if it is greater than 3, that means a continuation after this. Greater than 3, less than 3.9, then minor. So what it is doing is, it is basically taking 3 to 3.9 range, then 4 to 4.9 range, calling it light, 5 to 5.9 range, moderate, 6 to 6.9 strong, 7 to 7.9 major, and then if it is greater than 8, then it is a great earthquake which can create a lot of problems, right? Even anything which is beyond 6 is something devastating. Okay, so this is the field that we need to do, and what I'm doing is I'm simply copying this instead of writing it, because it's a straightforward if-else condition with the formula like max. So if I just go here, create a calculated field, and I first paste it over here, and I will say same thing, color richer. So again, very straightforward stuff going on, which is, if it is magnitude, maximum magnitude, and greater than 0 and less than 2.9, then micro. Very simple and straightforward English statement. So both the conditions need to be true. So anything which is coming between 0 to 2.9 will be categorized as micro. And using this categorization, we can put this categorization on color and get the output. Okay. So, I cancel this. I did not create it, right? Should have clicked on OK. Let me just do it again. And I'll say color richer. We can call it color richer, or we can call it earthquake magnitude or magnitude color, and whatever we want, right? So we'll click OK. All right, and then we will put it on the color, right? So you can see color, the default color has come, right? And the way it is coming is great, light, major, micro, so on and so forth. So I think after the great, what you have is strong, right? After the strong, you have moderate, right? I'm just correcting the color by dragging it up. So after great, strong, I think major will come here. Let me just see. We can see it from a color richer perspective. So if I say color richer and go into the edit mode, great, major, strong, moderate. Great, major, strong, moderate. Minor, light, and micro. Let's just see that as well. Light, minor, and micro. So light, minor, and micro. Okay, so the color conditions are also done. The only thing we need to make sure is coloring, right? So we need to come over here in edit color. We can double click it. So we can go here in the pencils, which I think easiest way to do that. This is, I think, the darkest red, so I can show it for great. This is major, right? I think this one should be good, right? Or what is this? This is pink. No. If you want, you can also change it little bit, right? So if you want, you can make it little bit light like this. Okay, no battery. All right, so you can make it like this. For strong, go to the pencil. If this is what it is, or this is, yeah, I think this is good for strong. For moderate, I think this is good, right? For light, I think we can choose something around this. No, this one. Just choosing the right color so that it is properly displayed. Okay. Whether this is looking good. Okay, let's just choose a color. All right, this looks fine, right? And this micro is very less. Just making sure that it goes in a bit of a continuation. So, right, so yeah, a little bit of differentiation. If I click apply, right, you get this. Okay, the only thing we need to do is change the background. So if I right click, go to the format, background, sheet, black. Yeah, so red color, sort of orangish, light red, little bit light, more light, or different from this. This is moderate, this is your light, right? This is, I think, the minor. There is nothing. So over here you have the micro. Okay, and these lines are coming. So for these lines, think we need to come over here in rows, none, right? Again, these lines are coming. So I think over here we need to come in rows. Is there anything grand total or in sheet? Columns. Yeah, this is where, let's just say 0 line. I don't want to show that. 0 line, none. So now it is properly coming, as you can see. Sticks, none. It is gone, and we have this color. So we will right click and say format, and color is something we need to keep it a little bit right. Again, format, sorry. So yeah, axis, I think axis is where I need to go. This one, yeah, it is coming now prominently, but I need to just make sure that they are there, just so that, you know, people are able to see it, but it should not, you know, conflict with this. Yeah, this is good, right? So even in this case, you have this format. Over here, this is the color. Make it a little bit bold. Yeah. So now we have this very first visualization, which is something similar to what you have it over here, right? And I think we have aggregate color mixer, we have max magnitude, location, maximum magnitude, day of occurrence, time of occurrence, and tsunami flag. All of this is there. The only thing you will see a difference where I a little bit you know, in a different direction in while Chimdi has prepared it, that he is starting from here and going here. However, the natural flow of timeline is it starts from here, which is the start of the chart, and goes like on the right side. So this is what it is happening in my chart, and I want to keep it like this. That's where I see it from a design perspective, that we should make a choice, like how do we want to view. Different people may have a different perspective around that, and my perspective is, since if you create a line chart or any timeline related chart, it starts from the left because it says that it is the start of the timeline, goes to the right, it says that this is how you are progressing, and basically creates the impact. So this is the first chart. Now what we need to do is we need to just make sure that we have the sheet and all. For this, I will just take it from here. I'll copy this. However, this is also an art, right? That what name you are giving to your visualization. I'll put it there. Apply and OK. Because giving it a valid name goes in a long way. So I just remove the year by right clicking and hide label. Yeah, that's fine. Because right labeling goes in a long way. I just cannot emphasize enough in terms of how important it is for business users. I deal with it every day, where whatever report, dashboard, ad hoc analysis, anything that we create, if it does not have the right label, it will going to confuse a users a lot, right? So that's important. That significant earthquake over 100 years. So you have a 100-year timeline from 1921. It is going all the way towards 2020. And hover over earthquake for details. This is just an additional text that is there, right? Now, one last thing is we just put it in one frame. So we will say entire view over here like this. So this will be something similar to what you are viewing it over here. However, I will hide this card. Does not make a whole lot of sense. Hide this card as well. And this is what our first visualization looks like. I hope you are excited. We'll move ahead and create a couple of more, like what has been there in this dashboard. Yep, I need to save this, and I will save earthquake _YT, which is my YouTube file. Save. Always make sure. This is like almost more than 30 minutes we are here, so you do not want Tableau to shut automatically and removes all your work. So save it, and let's move on to the next visualization.